We are going to Andy McNamara now, and I don't know how to properly introduce you, Andy. I said voice of the Toronto Rock, Hamilton Tiger Cats, TSN 1050, Canada's foremost expert on the Cleveland Browns. How do you?
Yeah.
I should have gone to your Twitter bio. What does it say?
There's not enough characters there, Rod. Yeah, so that's all the good stuff, and also currently the national fantasy sports analyst for Sportsnet and host across the Sportsnet radio network. So very, very busy and writing and all that too. So lots going on, man. How are you?
Bravo, by the way. Good for you. That's a cool job. So listen, Mr. Fantasy's with me here, Mike Abou-Meshrak. You two can have quite a fantasy chat here. Yeah, there you go. Another CFL alum. But listen, Andy, let's start here. I said this at the opening of the show. With MLB going, NHL, NBA, they're all going. That tells me the NFL will go because they're more powerful than those other leagues, I think, all combined. I think they're going.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I hope so. Rod, I hope so. I'm crossing everything on my body that can be crossed, and I'm hoping that happens because when it comes to the fantasy world, when it comes to the betting world, we know everything begins and ends with the National Football League. So I hope, since they're not doing a bubble-type format like the NBA or NHL, that they're at least learning from MLB, because I hope it's not like the cocky NFL, like, hey, you know what, we know better than everybody. I hope that's not it. Take the lessons that you can learn from the MLB and try to improve on it, because the NFL just has to go. Looks like things are going okay. Some players, they have till, Thursday to opt out, and they have a COVID list and all that, and they're being tested every day. So hopefully, if any team is going to be able to do it, or any league, it's going to be the NFL, Rod. You're right. They're too powerful.
So I got a lot of team-specific questions I'll get to, but Abu's sitting here shaking his head. So what?
Well, I just, what can they learn about it? You talk about, there's a lot of ways to kind of start this question. You talk about fantasy. So I think there's so much money in the NFL that they can have their own fantasy league. And I was listening to an NFL player, I can't think of his mind right now, and he said the only way that he opted out, he said the only way that he would play is if they put all of the players and their families in a community with shopping and hotels and everything that they could do, and put them all in a bubble and guarantee their safety. And I'm like, okay, what's the problem then? And then you do that at the Royal York in Toronto, and then the Toronto team gets on a bus that's been cleaned and drives to their personal jet, gets on a personal jet, Am I the smartest person in the room, or do you think this has been kicked around the NFL offices before? I know I got great hair.
I would. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have to think that the NFL and the medical, like the doctors, the access to everything they have is as good as anywhere in the world. So I'd have to think they're going through every single type of angle. And they're saying, you look at the different locker rooms, even right now going into camp, and weight rooms have been turned into locker rooms, and people are wearing masks when they're practicing. My concern is this. Okay, if you're testing everybody and everybody's good going into the game, I guess you're fine. But this is such a contact sport. Like, linemen are lined up, that far away from each other? You're breathing on each other. You're falling on each other. You're tackling. So that's the concern to me. I wish and I hope that there is some sort of bubble format you can do. I think the problem might be is because you only play the one time a week. Is there enough practice facilities, options, room, space? Where does it go? What city does it go? And how many members of the family can you have in? There's so many issues there that's going to be the problem. I think it's going to be something where players can go home. The player might be safe, but it's the endless stream of, all right, well, so-and-so's wife or so-and-so's kid played with somebody else, went somewhere else, and it's just endless. The possibilities of things that can go wrong are endless.
Okay, so let's go to the fun stuff, because they're not going to call you to ask your permission. So let's assume that they play.
Let's play. Let's go.
Yeah, I want the Patriots to burn to the ground. And they already got TB12 gone. All their top defense, well, not all, but a lot of their top defensive players are opting out. What are the chances of the Patriots, A, not winning the division, and B, finishing last in the division, which would be my dream?
Whew, that would be something. I doubt. I don't think they're going to finish last. I think the New York Jets are going to say
Jets. Yeah, they're the Jets.
I think Adam Gase and the Jets are working really hard to finish last. But the most players that have opted out. You have Cam Newton coming in, right? Interesting to me, all the players opting out, and there's a variety of reasons, of course, right? Like legit health reasons, etc. But what's interesting to me is if it was Jarrett Stidham starting, if I'm a Patriot player, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just wait to see how this thing plays out. You got Cam Newton, who if we're talking fantasy for a sec, I'm fading on simply because beat up dude. Like, you cannot tell me if you're Cam Newton, you're going to be run around the same way you were in the past. If you do, he's not getting out of October healthy. He's not. Like, his body is way too banged up. There's way too many miles on it. So if it's me, I think the Bills win the division, and the Patriots, I think they probably finish second, and probably, even with the opt-outs, Uncle Bill Belichick is going to find a way to at least contend for a wild card spot. But I don't think they'll win the division.
All right. Well, I'll take them not winning the division. I'll take them going on the road in the playoffs. Yeah, which would be a change for them, even though they did last year. Your Browns. There's a lot of people in this part of the world that are following them closely because Chris Jones is still there. Very talented roster. I think we all would agree that just can't seem to get it together. Will this be the year that they do?
Oh, God. Rod, I've been hoping that since 1999 that this would be the year. And actually, you know what? There is a strong Browns fan contingent in the province of Saskatchewan. I think it was last year. We were on a plane ride down to Cleveland and connecting. We ran into a bunch of guys. I can't remember if they're from Saskatoon or Regina. I don't remember. But they were a group of 5 or 6 guys going down, and they're Browns fans. So there is a strong Browns contingent there in the province. Everything's on the table for the Browns to be successful. The question is, in this season where new head coach, again, Kevin Stefanski, he just was able to meet all his team for the first time this week. The first time. All the virtual training. The talent is there. The buy-in is there. The system for Baker Mayfield to have a revamp and everyone dumping on Baker, right? Look at the system, people. What did he do with Kirk Cousins? It is a play-action-based system that benefits the quarterback, relying on the strong run. Well, hey, you got Nick Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt, you got a great offensive line, you brought in Austin Hooper, David Njoku settled down, he's going to stick around. So you got 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, a dude named Odell and Jarvis Landry. So everything is there for Baker to succeed. That was a bit of a jumble. I think we're going to see his completion percentage jump 10 points. I think we're going to see it jump to high 60s from the high 50s it was last year. And we're going to see a Baker Mayfield much closer his rookie season because now he's been humbled. Last year, the Browns were the big sexy dog, right? They were the team. They were the flash. No expectations now. So I think that they do come in and that this is the year, if they can stay healthy and things progress, I think this is the year they can sneak into a wild card spot, especially because you got that extra playoff position now.
No, it's interesting. Well, very good point there. Donald Mitchell, one of our regular viewers, he's watching from the Middle East. He says the Browns are snake bitten. They need to get some continuity in the coaching and management staff. Yeah. And he's right, but I don't have faith that they're going to get it together because it all starts at the top, and the owners are they're just abysmal.
They're the Browns.
They're the Browns. And another one, frankly,
that's a conversation that has to change.
Yeah, and as I got to say this about the Houston Texans. I mean, we were just there last year. Our boy Corey Mark is here, one of our viewers. He's watching from the couch today. You look up at Energy Stadium, and it's banner, winning that division. But it's a bad division. Bill O'Brien has chased DeAndre Hopkins out of town, but they haven't won anything.
You can only win what you play.
I'm talking playoff success.
And if you want, you know what? Baker Mayfield and the Browns fooled me a couple years ago. This is the year. And just what you said, you want people to stop saying, yeah, but they're the Browns? Make me stop saying it. Stop being the Browns.
You got to win.
Yeah, you want me to stop dancing in the end zone? Don't let me score.
Yep, that's it.
You're saying the Texans should be proud of what they've done under Bill O'Brien?
They won. You can't not. I'm not saying celebrating participation trophies, but if you win the division, you win the division. Put the flag, celebrate, champagne, all of that.
Andy, where are you on that discussion?
Well, I agree in the sense that, hey, you can't pick your division. You win it. You do what you can. But now, this is the year. Deshaun Watson is going to be lined up after this season for a mega payday. Maybe not $500 million money like Pat Mahomes, but mega dollars. So what concerns me with that team, with Bill O'Brien, okay, and it's come out, DeAndre Hopkins wasn't meshing with okay, that's fine. So you get David Johnson, who, by the way, as a sneaky fantasy player, is an RB2. Remember, David Johnson 2-3 years ago was going top 4 in fantasy. So I think as a PPR RB2 in fantasy leagues, David Johnson, you can book it. But the wide receiver group, Will Fuller, Mr. Hamstring. Good Lord. And don't just look at the stats, people. Here's what people run into mistakes with. You look at the number. Oh, well, look at the game log. He had 2 games that he just exploded for, and the rest he did nothing. He's always on the injury chart. You got Brandon Cooks, who had concussion issues and keeps getting dealt around. Who's he throwing the ball to? Darren Fells at tight end? That's the concern for me. How do they get, you have a dynamic quarterback, one of the best in the league. How are you helping him out? That's the concern to me, to get rid of a Hopkins instead of somehow working together. You get rid of a weapon like that. Now you're relying a lot on the running back and maybe a little too much on the legs of Deshaun Watson.
Andy, we're out of time, but I feel like we've barely started talking, so let's do it again. The NFL season's right around the corner, and where can people follow you on social media and so forth, kind of give you a bump with what you're doing?
I want to show you this, too. Baker Mayfield, baby. Come on, look at that. That's a piece of the football. Rookie
Dog
touchdown
pound.
Record.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I thought I'd show you. At AndyMC81 on Twitter, at AndyMC Sports on Instagram. You got the Fantasy Minute, daily videos, fantasy stuff all over. Got a fantasy baseball waiver wire article up now, and we're going division by division fantasy football previews up on sportsnet.ca.
Oh, good for you. I love it. I love hearing it. All right, Andy, thanks for the time. Stay safe, my friend.
All right, you too. Talk to you guys.
Andy McNamara, fantasy expert from Sportsnet, joining. Look, Abu gives him a pause as we wrap up the interview.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.